Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, welcome to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you.
When you heard this news, who's the first person you thought of when you heard the news?
I thought of you.
Well,
because I heard it first.
Yeah, actually, we were ready to go on. We had a gig in Phoenix, and our manager knew. Obviously, he knew before we knew, and then he went to tell us before we were going on. And I was trying to find my shirt, so I was kind of. Oh, I said, "That's a great. Thanks for the news." And yeah, we just thought about each other.
We just did the show, and that was it. But yeah, I just wanted to tell him. I just wanted him to know. So.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Interesting. Yeah, you hear the news, you get to celebrate quickly. Then you've got to get out.
Go to work. Go to work.
Do what we do.
Yeah.
So now, it'll set in. You'll have different emotions. I know it's an interesting process, right? Because you're eligible, and there's a nomination process. You're nominated, and then it's this funny, unusual thing where the nomination happens, and then you get renominated, and you have to sort of balance your emotions, but it's real, it's done, and you're elected. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's great. It's great to be acknowledged for a body of work. I mean, it's all about the work, so that's great. It's great. I mean, it's interesting. It doesn't change you from the day before you heard till the day after you heard, because everything was already created. The work had already been done. So it doesn't really change that part, but it's nice for the future. It's nice to go forward with that.
And when you visited, I think we walked around and you saw, I'm on the second floor of the museum right now in the space called the garage, where people can play instruments. And we set up a studio in here. But on the third floor is the actual Hall of Fame gallery. And by the way, on the fifth floor, Pat, we have a black dress of yours on exhibit right now.
You do, I know.
But on this third floor, when you walk on the floor, you see our earliest inductees. You see Chuck Berry and Little Richard, and then Aretha Franklin, and you work your way through the years, and all the way up to whether it's the Cars or Roxy Music and artists like that. And now you've made the work. It's had the hits. You've done everything, but now you are part of that small group that forever will be connected inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's great for the fans. I mean, I think that people that love music really enjoy seeing all of it together in one place, and I think it's great. So,
you guys have you did the work. You have achieved this great status as artist for recognition for your music already, and then you get this yet sort of another honor. This honor isn't for one hit record. It's not for one great soundtrack. It's for the entire body of your work, and it's a chance to think about that and look at it. But that's what we're recognizing for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And when you think about that whole body, are there people that you think of along the way, and things that it means to have this honor, and maybe it's not for yourselves, but what do you think of other things in connection with the honor?
Well, when we started, how many years? 43 years ago.
43 years.
We were moving so fast. Part of the record deal we had to have a record every year, or else we'd go into suspension. So we had to constantly go. So when you're moving that fast, you don't really have time to think about anything other than making music and supporting what you're trying to get your messaging out there, right? So the exciting thing about this is it's almost like another beginning. And opening up, because there's a lot of people out there that don't really know the ins and outs and the story of our professional relationship. They may think of they have a judgment, and I have a little thing that says assumption plus judgment equals X. And a lot of times people's X, they don't always get that right. A lot of times they're wrong. So I think this is a great time to unveil and start talking about some of the things we've done and how they got done. I think people are going to find this really interesting. And this is now the new beginning we're taking forward, so everybody knows.
It's a great opportunity for the real story to be told, you know, and you know, our life is so incestuous as it is together, but it began like that. So for me, I've been lobbying for probably 25 years to get the real story about how everything began. It wasn't about me and all that kind of, I mean, it was about me partially, but it was about us together. And so I'm very excited and pleased that we get to go in together, because that is the real story.
Yeah. Well, you've sort of prompted my next question. And that was, first of all, thank you for sharing that. And the real story will get out, because you're going to be in the spotlight in a really good way. You know, it's a chance to look back, again, not at one record, not at one moment, but at the whole body. But I'm curious, you know, what does it mean to be going in together? You know, as
everything. It means everything.
Yeah. In the very beginning, like we will unveil the story. People know a story, but they don't really know all the truth behind that story. But really, it was a time where we really needed each other. Not that we could have went off and done things separately or whatever. Of course, that could all happen. But the energy and the mission and the focus of what we were trying to do, the two of us in the very beginning, was just so universally put together that you can't even really try to explain how or why that happened. But it did, and it's powerful. It's powerful, and it just rolled and just kept going and going.
I mean, we were both on our separate paths, and then when we came together, it was the true catalyst of everything happening. I mean, the first song that we recorded was Heartbreaker, and it set the tone for everything. It was exactly, I mean, he was looking for a singer just to play with and get all this, you know, these ideas that he had. He wanted to be arranging and doing all these things, and I was looking for the partner, so that I wasn't just a female. Listen, it was difficult, you know, when I was trying this. I mean, everybody was naysaying, and, you know, girls can't sell out Madison Square Garden. So I was trying to navigate a very difficult path as it was. And I wanted a partner. I wanted to have a muse and a person to do this with together. I wasn't interested in doing this by myself. I wanted to have the same relationship that, you know, Robert Plant had with Jimmy Page. That's what I wanted. And we just came together, and everything from that moment on, it began to, like you said, roll. It just rolled, and it was right. So
yeah, it was one funny thing. I have to add to that too. When we made the first record, Peter Coleman, who is an exceptional engineer and my co-producer, we worked on so many records together, right? And when we started the record, we're going through, and then I talked to him some time ago, maybe about 10 years ago. He goes, we were talking about those days, and he goes, I really thought that, I don't know if we really knew what we were doing. The two of us, we were just him and I were in that studio every minute of the day, just working on that first record. And we bonded so strong, and he taught me so many things, and we learned together. It was just a beautiful start to a long-standing professional relationship that was just spectacular.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
start. Spectacular.
It was.
Well, and the great thing too is that you'll be honored here, but it's not over. You know, you continue to make great music, and you continue to tour and play and perform. Wonderful. Any other thoughts on what the idea of being elected and being inducted this November into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame means?
I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm sure you hear this every time when you ask this question. For people like us it's happening to, I don't know. It's not something. Linda Ronstadt said, I think it was her, that she said that if you're doing what you do to win prizes, you're in trouble. Yeah. That's the truth. So it doesn't occur to you to worry about it or think about it or anything. And when it happens, it's like really nice. It's nice. It's not, I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen when we found out, you know, how it was going to feel. I mean, it feels good. And it doesn't change everything. It doesn't, you know, not in the way that you would think. It's just really nice for your children, for the legacy, for the fans. That's what I think, you know, but for you, you're grateful and you're like, that's great.
Mhm.
You know, cool.
It is an honor, and I got to tell you truthfully, you may think we're crazy, and you may think there's more reasons for anybody to not like us. Is that we do not have one gold, platinum, multi-platinum record hanging up in our house anywhere.
Yeah, we're just
Anywhere. It's just was never about that. It was
Yeah.
great to have them.
Mhm.
Certainly, it's fantastic to have the support and the fans. You know, the greatest thing always, and you hear this a million times when you see and talk to the fans and the people that love the music, how it changed their lives.
Mhm.
And that's the most powerful thing you can ask for. And if this helps to exploit that even more, could keep going, and we're not stopping.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just the beginning.
It's really about the music. I mean, it's about the music. I mean, music. Listen, our lives changed dramatically when we met in so many ways. I mean, not only did we become songwriters together and have a career, we fell in love. We got married. We're parents. We're grandparents. All of that happened because of the original thing, which was just playing.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing. And you're right. And all of that stands on its own. It doesn't need Hall of Fame. Like you've got all that.
And I do want to acknowledge people that we kind of skipped over that, but there were so many people. I mean, you never do this alone. You know, certainly Peter Coleman was there, you know, just as our mentor and really as our guide on that first record. Our bandmates, the original players, all of them. I mean, all of that synergy happened because all those people are involved. Our original manager, Rick Newman, who believed in everything we did. The original people at Chrysalis who took the leap. You know, there were so many others. And then, of course, all the, you know, your family, your friends who are there supporting you as you're going down the path. And then all of the people, all of the fans who took the leap with us in the beginning, all the people that came out and, you know, don't know what to expect, you know, didn't know what to expect. And all the promoters, radio stations, everybody that's in the beginning. The beginning is a magical time. You wait your whole life for that first time. And there's so much that goes into it. It's so complex. And then when it happens, it seems so simple, but it really is.
Since you did this part, I'll do the apologies to all the musicians I tortured trying to get the best recordings out of everyone. There were so many times the ideas that I was throwing out, and to Patricia for actually believing in me and putting up with these crazy ideas I had, and the record company and all the people. Really, truthfully, it was. I apologize to all of them.
Well, again, congratulations. And we can't wait to, you know, get to know you better, but also to celebrate you all summer long, have you inducted in November, and you'll be hanging in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gallery with all of the other amazing artists in the history of rock and roll forever.
Great. Thank you. That's really an honor. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. So
Take care.
long.
So long, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.